So now I'm going to ramble about my crashing history on motorcycles. It's not a very long ramble, this one. I'll keep it quite short, because I've only had really 2.5 motorcycle crashes. And the reason I say 2.5 will come clear a little bit later on. Now, the first motorcycle crash I ever had was riding a friend of mine's CR250 Red Rocket single cylinder Honda motocross bike. Now these things were lethal. 250cc, massive power band in it, nutter motocross bike. And this is I was I think 14 at the time, so this is like early to mid 80s. And my mate had a CR250 and I could barely touch the floor on it. I was only a little short arse in those days. I'm a bit taller now, but I was quite short when I was 14, and I kept begging my mate to let me ride his CR250, and he kept going, "It's too fast for you, Stobo, you can't ride that, blah blah blah." But anyway, I badgered him and badgered him and badgered him, and we did, you know, he didn't do motocross. We used to ride this down the local tip, because that's what you did in the 80s. You had step through Honda motorcycles with all the plastic ripped off them, and you rode them on a tip on rough ground and created sort of jumps, and did jumps on the wheelies on these little 50cc step through 3-geared Honda things. But anyway, I badgered him and he said, "Okay then, have a quick go, ride down the straight, turn round and come back." And I think I got about 10 yards, opened it up, because I'd been riding a I'd been riding a Honda step through 50cc thing, and those things used to ring the crap out of them. Basically what I did on this CR250 in first gear was whack the throttle open as hard as I possibly could. At 14, never ridden anything bigger than a 50cc bike, flipped it and sent the bike careering down the road, ripped the front mudguard off, scratched the shit out of myself. Luckily I did have a helmet on, but only sort of like a t-shirt. Ripped me back up and ripped my arms up. Luckily I didn't cause any damage. So that was bike accident number 1. Put me off riding bikes for about 5 minutes till I could get back on my Honda step through. Now, my second bike accident, I was on a ZXR 750 H2. We're going down this road pretty much as I am now, following a car, doing about 40-50 miles an hour like I am doing now. I was behind the car, obviously in front of me. I could see him move out to go round this parked car. There was plenty of room. There was probably at least 2 foot. He was 2 foot to the right hand side of the parked car, and probably the right hand side of his car was probably at least 3 foot gap between the car coming towards him. Now, this person, I can't remember whether it was a man or a woman, this person we will call them, didn't think they could get through the gap. Now, I could see he could easily get through that gap, and we're doing about 50 miles an hour. He decides to lock his brakes up because he thinks he's going to hit the car coming forward. I see his brake lights, obviously, because I'm following him, but thought he was just braking, maybe to slow down, because he could easily get through between the parked car and the car coming towards him. But no, he was locking his brakes up to stop absolutely dead. Now, I hit the brakes on mine and I'm still getting too close to him. Now, I can't go between the car because it's what, 2 foot gap, I could clip the car coming the other way and be hit by somebody doing 60 mile an hour or 50 mile an hour on that road. I couldn't go round him to the left because there was a parked car there, and I couldn't stop in time. So I had two options: plough into the back of this guy, and I thought that's going to really hurt my nuts and probably break my arms, and I'm probably going to headbutt the car. So I did what all sensible 20-year-olds or 22-year-olds, whatever how old I was, do. I hit the brakes as hard as I can, realised the bike was going to go smashing into the back of the car, and I jumped off to the left-hand side. Apparently, my mates who were behind me said I did a beautiful roll and jumped straight back on my feet, went running towards the car that had locked his brakes up, but he then realised he could get through that gap and accelerated off. Anyway, it was about 700 or 800 quid's worth of damage to my ZXR. I was properly heartbroken at the time, but my only injury was a bruised ego in front of all my friends and some scuffed leathers and stuff like that. So I said I had had 2.5 motorcycle crashes. Now the next one, I wasn't on the motorcycle, but I was hit by a motorcycle. So what happened is my boy used to race motocross, and as a proud father, Daniel, he was only practicing at this time, was on track, but there was an RM125 and he was on a RM85, and he was trying to get past him, and he was really struggling to get past him, Daniel was, but in the end he got past him, and I was really close to the track, actually in front of the tape. Yes, that was my first and big mistake. I was cheering on Daniel, going, "Go on Daniel, you can do it, get round him," and he got round him, and I thought, brilliant. This lad on a 125 came round the corner, and where the sort of banking for the track is the berm, or whatever you call it, where you normally sort of power down, lean the bike right over and power out the corner, he messed that up, came out sideways over the top of it, and the forks smashed me straight in the face. Took me at head height. The bike, I got sort of poleaxed, completely knocked into the dirt. The bike went over the top of me, the handlebars smashed me in the chest and stomach, and the bike then went over the top of me along with the rider. Now, I can't remember much of the accident, but apparently my boy saw it and he crashed his bike because he saw it happen and he thought, oh my god, my dad's dead, he's just been hit by a flying motorcycle, and he came running over. But allegedly I sat up, lit a cigarette, smoked in those days, very bad habit, but boy did I love it, and the blood pouring out of my head and down my face, put the cigarette out, and then I passed out. I suffered with, I've got fused vertebra in my neck, I've had a nose job to repair all the damage to my face that way, but apart from that I was absolutely fine. So moral of that story is, not all motorcyclists cause their own accidents, and it's not always a car pulling out on you. Watch out for flying motorbikes. So that's enough rambling for me today. So thank you very much if you've sat through me whittering on about my bike crash history. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, don't bother. Leave a comment. I do like a comment, so don't subscribe but leave a comment. I like the comments. I enjoy answering them. I try and answer as many as I can. I'll give a thumbs up or a love heart if I haven't got time to do it because I'm working and busy, but I'll answer ones that I can as much and as often as I can. But again, thanks for watching, and wait for the next STOBO on video. Cheers guys.